Hey guys, I'm Sandra Younger. Welcome to JTV Extra. And you guys must be wondering, what does P4 and after mean? Well, P4 is a mnemonic, and that's a mnemonic that I have in my brain when I make this particular week. Look at that. Isn't that cool? It's so easy. You know, if any of you guys think it's going to be really hard, it's probably one of the easier things that I do. But what makes it so cool are the variations, because when I was making this, I thought I want to try this bead on there. And then I ran into a problem, but I was able to solve it. I'm going to share all the solutions that I had for these different bracelets with you. If you're new, welcome to the show. You can ask questions, leave comments down below. If you you can hit the heart button. That's always appreciated. And if you want to shop any of the items on today's show, you just click on any of the items on the right hand side of your screen. It'll pop up. You can get more product details. You could add it to your cart. And the other thing, if you have never purchased anything before, let me tell you about Brilliant Cash. So if this is your first time purchasing, you will get a $40 credit towards your next purchase. I mean, it's just like an instant credit to your account. And when I say account, you do not need to have like a credit card account. It's just like, you know, when you go to any website and you buy something, you know, they just have your information. So next time you go back, you know, they can access you more easily. And that's basically how it works. So if you go back, you put something in your cart, and it's going to be like minus $40. On your birthday, you get $20. Hi, Rhonda, Catherine, Tess, Sarah, Kim, PJ, PMZ, Pat from New York. Ooh, how much time do I have, Pat? 59 minutes. Sparkle Ambassador, refer a friend, $25. 1% back on all purchases, 2% back with the preferred card, and returning customers after 365 days, you get $30. So if you haven't purchased anything in over a year or so, you get $30. And also, you know, this is really funny. On Instagram, there's a person, Lindsay Frazier, and she suggested that there be a national wear all the jewelry you can day, like layers and layers. And I thought that's a really good idea. So it's official. July 17th of every year from here on out, it's going to be National Wear All Your Jewelry, or as many layers as you can do. So I just want to give a shout out to Lindsay Frazier for suggesting that, because it is such a fantastic idea. Isn't that a great idea, guys? Just like layer, I mean, it doesn't have to be tasteless, but if you think about like all the different necklaces that you really like, and you've always you can't make up your mind, then what a perfect day to have an excuse to look kind of like disheveled. So I just think it's a really great idea. Okay, so I'm going to tell you all about the products on today's show. So let's get to the products. Okay, the first item that we have is my fabulous favorite tool of all time, the Knotty-Do-It-All. And I tell you guys, this tool is like the mega cord knotting and design tool. It's big, it's heavy, it's awesome, and I'll talk about it throughout the show. So if you're new, I could just show you like all kinds of different things that you can do with it. It's just like amazing. Let's see the second item. Oh, we do have it in a large board and a small board, and I'll show you those in just a second. And we have leather cord. Okay, this leather cord is just, it's so pretty. It's so supple, rich, love it. 10 meters each spool. And this leather is 2 millimeters thick. So very versatile, beautiful, beautiful cord. And let's see, the next item we have is these are the Family Love Spacer beads. And these are, let me show you. Okay, so you get a heart and this other spacer bead. And then there's a little paw, which is really cute. And then this, you know, if you look closely, it has a flower and heart design on it. So those are really cute. They've got these huge, huge holes. So these will be perfect for using with leather. So there you have the, let's check those out. Whoops, there it went. It just wants to roll away to your home. So there's a little paw. Anyway, and then the next thing we have the stainless steel folding ends. You get 3 different sizes, and there are 450 total. So these you place your cord on there, and then you just fold and crimp. So That's just like the real quick and easy, get it done. Couldn't get any faster way to like put a connector on your cord. And the next thing, okay, these are really interesting clasps. These are, let's see, figure 8 clasps, is that they call it? Okay, but I'm going to show you something. These aren't your regular, ordinary clasps because these are like, I've never seen anything like these. Check this out. Okay, so let me put this here. Move those aside so I could show you this. Okay, check this out. When you press on the clasp, look at that. It opens in both directions. Isn't that crazy? I've never seen anything like that. Really cool. And these are, let's see, it says imitation rhodium with E-coat. So I don't know what an E-coat is, but I do have to admit that these are really, really cool clasps. And I imagine that they're extremely versatile. So guys, that's JS Kit 00042. Figure 8 double clasp. And it says here they're 12 millimeters, about 12 millimeters tall. So there you have it. Okay, so in the next item we have is, let's check it out. These wooden beads. Okay, these are there is another strand of these beads, but I kind of like hijacked them because I always had this. I always wanted to paint them, so I took that one strand, and that's exactly what I did. And look, they came out really cute. So if you're looking for a bead that you just can't find the right color, because you know my kids do a lot of like costume and cosplay, and you know they're always needing like really unusual design, I mean colored beads, and I always like thought, oh, I'm gonna like paint them. It was actually easy and it was very fun, and I'll show you how I did that during the show. But look how cute that is, really pretty. So if you need like a cool project and something that's fun and creative, then you could actually paint these beads. And the last item, these are really cute. These are the stainless steel connectors. These are the Tree of Life. And I made a really cute bracelet, really, really delicate. Check this out. Look at that. So they're so lightweight. I mean, it's almost like you're wearing air. It's got the little, that tree design on there. Look how cute that is. And I tell you, these beads are teeny weeny. These are like 2 or 3 millimeters. I mean, it looks a lot bigger, but I mean, it's just really super, super tiny. Look how cute that is. You know, I imagine, you know, with like different colors and, you know, all that cool stuff. So pretty, pretty, pretty. So anyway, those are all the products that are on today's show. So let's go back to me. Those silver things, the little round things, where did I put it? Because it was so cool. They're so lightweight. Oh, here it is. They're so lightweight and so like thin. I think these are like they've got to be laser cut. I mean, there's got to be no other explanation as how they get that amazing like detail in there. Check that out. Isn't that cool? And the wooden beads, I painted them. Let's see, can we see them here? Yeah, I painted, let me show you on this one here. This one, they're like a light blue. And what I did first, which was kind of important because I tried doing it the first time and it didn't look too good, but you got to put a primer. And let me tell you guys, it's so easy. I did it the fast way. I put some gloves on and I put some primer on my hands and I just went like this. Let it dry, and then I painted them, and look at I did these red ones. Let me show you the red ones, and they're such a pretty shade of red. Check it out. And you know, and I'm even thinking of like painting like different designs on them just to, you know, do something different and creative. So they make like an excellent canvas. And just think about it, if you have nothing to do with your kids, I mean, painting like little things is like, it's a good idea and it's a great project. But oh, my favorite part of the show, the customer slideshow. And as always, you guys are just like amazing. So check out the things that you guys made this. I mean, it's just so. So first we have Sarah, North Carolina, and this bracelet, I think it's on my website under Naughty Lessons. It's called like something dangle bracelet, but I think the focus was on how to do the ends. And I think these came out so cute. I like these very, very much. And that was the deal about them, is those dangle ends, like they kind of give it like sway and like, I don't know, just snap. And then, oh my goodness, oh, these are so pretty. The color combination is so, I don't know, it's like a Southwest palette meets like Middle East. I don't know, this is so pretty. And you know, I noticed that there are beads on the inside. I'm not even gonna ask. That looks like, that is crazy. But it's so pretty. I have no idea how you got those beads in there, Laura Lee, but that is so, so pretty. I love these bracelets so much. Look at the blue, the red, and the beige. Definitely one of my favorite color palettes with that spark of gold in there. Beautiful. And Susanna from Louisville, Kentucky. Okay, so you got the daisy spacers in there. And these are interesting because I noticed that these have like more of a 90-degree angle type spacer bead, and they kind of give it like, I don't know, like a more like a spiky look. I think she called them the chunky monkeys. But look at that, very, very nice. I love it. And you guys that submitted this project did a really good job. Very creative, interesting. And I was telling Susanna that the end there on the top one, it's got the stacked daisy spacers. So that's really cool. And these holes must be really big to get like 2 strands of leather through. So really nice, beautiful. And here's a close-up of these, the spacers. Those are so, where did you get those? Those are just so cool. Really, really interesting. And next, Sarah, North Carolina, pink and black. And this is the leather that's doubled, and it's got the macrame on the outside. Really nice. And I like how the focal, like, I don't know, it's not like it wouldn't be considered like the bottom part of the bracelet that, you know, you're trying to cover, because, you know, when you make a bracelet, you want like the focal part to be on top and not so much the button or the closure part showing. But this, I mean, it accomplishes 2 things. It's like the focal is the button, but it's also the closure. So very, very nice. And Laura Lee in Florida. Oh, okay. We call this, I don't even know, where did we come up with the name, Laura Lee? You did. You call it the zipper. But look how pretty this came out. It's got the side drilled pearls and then the macrame on the on one side. Really cool. I'm just without words. I mean, this is such a cool design, and you know you know, you can see it. The top part is leather, so it's like you're combining like an elegant look with a boho look. I don't know. It's just like that combination. It's kind of like leather and lace, or you know, yin and yang. I really like that kind of look. I'm like, if I were to get married, like in a fancy wedding, I would wear like a real fancy wedding dress with like flip-flops, you know, that type of thing. Anyway, we have Anne in Arizona, this macrame, and these are really cool because these look like cubes. So cubes are really cool to macrame on the outside because it just takes on a really interesting form. So so this is really pretty. I love the color choices. The leather's nice. The button's beautiful, and I could tell that it is a faux leather slider type knot. So really, really nice. And then next, Sarah, North Carolina. I think this was the project from a couple of weeks ago, but it was very, very popular. And this looks so pretty. I can see it. And the interesting thing about it, see, you don't have to macrame all the way to the end. You just do like a little like parts of it, like Sarah did here. And it's got like some like those really cool, interesting beads on the ends with like fluffers. You know, you don't always have to melt down the ends. You could like tie them. So very, very cool. And this is that bracelet that we saw at the beginning in a trio set, but this is the red one close up. And I just love that that shade of red. You know, it's funny because the other day I was at I I don't want to admit this. It's horrible. Don't go. I'm not going to say it. Nope. I'm moving on. Oh, look at that. So pretty. The blue and the gold. I'll tell you guys in a minute where I went. Oh, it was terrible. Okay, I'll say it. A yarn store. Okay, I'm just going to leave it at that because you can go crazy with ideas in a yarn shop. So this is beautiful. And then next we have Anne in Arizona. Oh, look at this. I love the blue, the beige with the dark brown. Oh, one of my, I always say, oh, this is my favorite color palette. But honestly, guys, I mean, I get these color palettes in my mind and they're my absolute favorites. And, most everything, I mean, a lot of what I make, the beads are blue because I just love blue beads. Beautiful. And then Sarah, North Carolina, this is the I don't know, the spacer on the outside. I am so astounded. I mean, you guys did such a fantastic job. And honestly, I didn't think it was going to work. And I thought, I kept thinking, I had the idea in my head and I'm like, it's not going to work. I'm not going to bother. But then something told me, just do it. And let me tell you guys, that is what you need to do. Even if you think it's not going to work, don't listen to yourself. Just try it because I'm not kidding. Sometimes you're really, really pleasantly surprised. And next, Christy in Alaska. Oh, look how cool this is. It's so interesting because it's got that really cool, like a donut type button with a slider. And then it's got that really interesting bead in the green. It just looks, I don't know how to explain it. Really organic, like real, like just, I don't know. I think it's beautiful. And Susan, Ohio. Okay, check this out. So you got the cowrie shells with the beads on the outside. So your creativity just, oh, you guys are just amazing. And look at that cool, that horn type button. And these beads are, I think they're the coconut pumpkin beads that were on the show a while back. So I do remember those. And then next we have Sarah in North Carolina. That same like technique, a different color palette, the blues and the browns, very, very nice. And with like fluffers on the end. I love it. And then next, oh, this one's so interesting. I was inspired by the Netflix series Black Sails. The series is set in the 1800s about pirates occupying the I don't know how to say that, Nassau Island. In the jewelry worn has a bohemian nature. And in Arizona. Okay, this got me like very curious, and I started looking at some of the jewelry that was worn in that series. And let me tell you guys, I had to like turn off my computer because I started getting like overwhelmed because they had some really cool pieces. So this is really interesting how you could like take an idea and just like make it your own. So this is really cool, Anne. Thanks for sharing this. And next, last we have Rhonda, Colorado. Guys, she said that she was proud of her knots, and look at this. She should be because these are beautiful. And I love the color combination. I like that like pale yellow pearl with this this antique gray brownish leather. It just looks, it's perfect, spot on. Matter of fact, the outfit I have on right now, it would match that and I would totally wear it. So beautiful, Rhonda. Thank you so much for sharing this. Anyway, guys, that concludes our customer slideshow. And if you have anything you'd like to submit, you can email it to me at Knotty-Do-It-All@gmail.com. Wasn't that fantastic? You guys are just like the best. Okay, so now let me tell you, I think I said I would tell you a little more about this board in case you don't have one and you just want to know if you should get one. Okay, so there is the big board. But this is like this thing is like a workhorse. I mean, it's got like the pins and the clips, and the neat thing is you can reconfigure them in a bunch of different ways. So depending on what you're working on, you say just like snap your fingers, and then you could do it. And some of the techniques that you learn, I just teach so many things. It's gotten out of control. This one is, I don't even know, braiding, but look how pretty that is. And I teach you probably one of the coolest things is how to finish the ends of cord. That is the #1 problem that people have. And you get an instructional DVD. This has the basics, guys. So, you know, but on my website, there is like so many lessons. I mean, I teach like all kinds of macrame, knotting. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And the big difference is, of course, is that this board here has a lot more like real estate. So and it's got the wells. You know, it has the bead and ring size chart. It's got these really great anti-slip feet on the bottom. So, you know, it's not going to slide anywhere. And let's see what else. Oh, the rulers are in inches and centimeters. So, you know, sometimes I know that when I'm talking and I say, oh, you use it's 6 inches. I know that a lot of you do not use the metric system. So I should say something like 15 centimeters. So, but the ruler has like both of those. Anyway, so that is, and these are flip bobbins. These are great for macrame, and you know, it's just so much. So let me get started with today's lesson, which is going to be, and I think that maybe some of you already know how to do this. Let's see. So this is interesting. Okay. Gina, I know you're here because I see your name, but her and I had a back and forth discussion, and we're both like, when I start doing something, I want to see like something happening. I mean, I don't want it to look like nothing for such a long time that my brain gets convinced that even if I did it for an hour, it's still going to look really ugly. I want instant like results. So that is kind of what happened with this bracelet here, because I had done this stitch previously, and like maybe a minute into it, I was like, it's not happening. But you know what? I decided just to keep on going, and then then the pattern took shape, and I was like, okay, so that's the trick on this one. Just keep going, and then it's going to look pretty just like that. And the mnemonic, which is the P and the 4, is how I did this. So let me get a button. So the button, I'm using a 2mm leather, so the holes in the button have to be at least bigger than 2mm, because that's because I've been asked, will a 2mm leather fit in a 2mm hole? And the answer is no. The hole that it goes into has to be a little bit bigger. So for this a bracelet, it ended up being around 6 inches long, but I think this leather, I think it'll make it at least like a 7-inch. So 50 inches, and you put your button on just like that. Put this one here and that one there. Whoops. And now we are going to attach it using a moose knot. And when I do my moose knots, especially if it's like a 2mm leather, I offset by 5 inches, so the longer one's on top, because, the thing is, if they were both even and then I made the knot, it's going to be like one of them is going to be a lot longer than the other. So what I do is the one that I'm making the knot with, I already like make it the 5 inches. So after I do all the knotting, it's going to be almost the same length on the ends. And so let's get this. Here's good tip time. Okay, I did not notice that, but do like examine your leather, because see that? That's normal. That's a normal thing for leather, but I would not use that, because there's a good chance it could end up like over a knot. So just like inspect your leather, and this, you don't throw it away. You can use it for something else. That is not a problem. So I'm just going to come over here and get a 50 inches of more leather. So let's do that. So there's 15, 30, 10. Because nothing's worse than making a knot and then having it break right where the leather was supposed to go. So let's get this put on. All right. And let's offset again by, oh, wait a minute. Let's get this button down. This thing I'm doing something. I am completely like doing it wrong. Okay. We got to get it at least centered. Let's get this. All right, let's do this. Okay, 5 inches, and there we go. Centered. Okay, now we're going to make our moose knot. Woohoo. Okay, so when I do this, I like to put a pin and a clip an inch apart, like right there, and then just clip this, and then. And I know you guys. I know most of you are proficient at this knot, especially like Tess Bar, because she just like makes them like beautifully. So I have the 2 cords. I put them in back of that first peg, and I just hold this one in here, and then I just wrap. I'm gonna go 1, 2. Let's see. Do I want to make it big? Let's make it a 4. And you can tell by like right here. This is gonna be 1, 2. This is gonna be a 4 ring knot. But you can go 3. You can go 2. I'm just gonna make it like dramatic. Because, the bigger the knot, the more oomph it has. So I'm going to come in here, kind of like wiggle it, and then slide it up. And when you have a button like this, let me, yeah, you need to get that button like all the way down. It's got to kind of like, wiggle it in there, and it'll like do its business. Well, perfect. See that? Beautiful. And then what I did was I just clipped this. Oh, and you know what? A tip that I have. Let me see if I can find one. Maybe I'll just do it right here on the air so you guys can see what I am doing. Where's my plier? Okay, this guy. Okay, so when you, whoa, I am stuck. Let me hang on. I got tangled here. Okay, there we go. So these clips, they open up a certain amount, but if you want to make them open up a little bit bigger, because it's great for accommodating some like buttons, what you do, just do this very, very gently. So just take a pair of pliers and just line it up nice and straight, just like that. And then just bend it just ever so gently and lightly, just like that. And see what it does is it allows you to open up the jaw even more, because this, like this button, see this? That doesn't exactly fit, but now you just did that and check it out. Boom. Isn't that a great tip? And that comes in handy. Like, I mean, it's not going to work for all buttons, but at least it did. Yeah, these things are fantastic. I mean, I love these parallel type pliers. Okay, so now the little mnemonic, the P in the 4, that's where this is where it happens, guys. This is really cool. So you just have your thing there, and so on the top part, see, I'm making it like a letter P. It's like a P. P like Pat. Thank you, Pat, for being my timekeeper. So you just make like a letter P, and then this cord just comes right through here, and then you just tighten. And then on the left side, you make like a number 4. See that? There you have your number 4, and then you just go. It's going to be on the top and then through the loop. And then you just keep repeating that pattern. P, and then 4. And I swear I was so thinking of Gina when I did this, because I'm like, that does not look good. I don't like it. I don't know what's going on, but you just keep going. Just keep going. And what makes it look good, don't do it yet. In this, I mean, there's no magic here for as far as like measuring goes. Yeah. That's exactly what this is. It's an alternate. Oh, goodness. What did I? Okay, was this a P or a? Uh-oh. Was this a P? Yeah, this was a P. And then this is a 4. And I guess the way to tell, like, let's say you get distracted. if the loop is on this side, then that means you need to do a P, because we just did a P. Now I did a 4. So, you know, I guess you're just gonna have to practice. But then you just kind of, to get it like really looking good, you just kind of got to pull it. See that? Just kind of pull it out a little bit and check it out. Oh my gosh, I just couldn't believe it. And then, you know, I kind of, you know, the thing when I thought, oh, that's pretty nice. And the first thing I made was just, you know, just this. And I was like, oh, look, right in here, I can add beads. Boom, boom, boom. So on this one here, whoops, where is my focus? Whoa, it's just going nuts. See, I just slid the beads on. There's no knotting in there. I just like, boom, slid them on and then just kept going. And then I thought, well, what if I want to put these guys on? Well, I ran into a problem, and I'll tell you what I did here. So I put these paws on. Get them in here. I'll put I don't know, I don't have any dogs, but I guess they could be cat paws. Lauren said they were bear paws, so I guess it could be like any kind of animal. So what I did in that case was I strung them on and turned the board over, and let me get this lined up right here. I'm going to move everything over, get all this out. And some of you guys probably know what I'm going to do, because it's something that I've taught before, and this is a perfect example of how you can combine different techniques. Let me zoom out a bit. Okay, right there. So I slid those on, clipped both of these, and then just, I thought, what color? I'm going to use, what color should I use, guys? Let's see. Let's use this one. Okay, so I'm going to take some of this waxed cord, and the reason I think I mentioned it earlier, because if I put these in and then I kept going here, see how they just kind of flip? I mean, it's fine for the round ones to flip because, you know, no matter how they flip, it's going to be the same. But these didn't work out that way. So what I did was I decided to macrame them on. And, you know, you can use a contrasting color. You can use a color that's really close. So I did a top, bottom, then a top and a bottom. And then, okay, this is when you macrame like a bead like this, you know, most of the time you think, oh, you need to go around the bead. It's not going to work. But you can actually do this and just like tuck these threads on the bottom and then tighten. See that? So then you don't see those threads. They're underneath your bracelet. So there's a top, bottom, and then I'm going to do a top and a bottom. So like I said, this is a perfect example. Like what I do is I teach basically a skill set. So if, you know, whenever, like if you run into like a problem, you're like, oh, this is how I can solve it. So this is how I solved this problem. Okay, there we go. Oh, you know what? It's really too bad if you're watching from Facebook. I cannot see your questions or like comments. And what's more is I don't think you can shop the show from Facebook, but you can from the JTV, the extra site. So if you have any questions, you might want to just like jump over to JTV Extra. And if you can't find it, just go to my website and click. I have a link to like the show, and you can just go directly there. So top and bottom. Okay. So, and then I just take a thread zap and just melt these into little like balls or like, yeah, little tabs. And when you do this, you don't have to like go over, like sometimes, you know, when I do like macrame pieces like this, I say, oh, just for extra security, go over. But in this case, you're not going to need that because, yeah, let it melt before tapping this because it's hot. I think they haven't come up with a name for your type of teaching. Oh, Gina, thank you. You know, it's just that I tell you, it's definitely the board because when I like devised this tool, I mean, not only did like the rate at which I can make something like it's sped up, but it just looked better. I mean, in the analogy could be with like digital photography. Remember when, you know, back in the day when everyone was using film cameras, you know, you'd go to the store and you'd get like 10 rolls of like film developed and you'd like sit there and look through every picture just to find maybe 2 or 3 that were any good. That's because it was expensive to learn how to like take pictures with film. But then when digital came out and you could just like learn on the fly and, you know, just if something didn't come out right, it's not a big waste of time or materials. And that's the one nice thing about this. It's not like, it's just, when you make a mistake, it's no big deal. It only took me 2 minutes to make anyway, and it looked so good. So you don't care if you make a mistake. So then you just come back and you just keep doing your like P's and, okay, there's a P and then the 4. And then you just keep going. And the, oh yeah, I'm gonna like show you something here. I'm just gonna make a few because, and this one will end up not being anything because I'm gonna show a couple of different things that I did. Okay, so the next thing that I thought, oh, it would look really cool if it had like coil knots. Okay, so let's say, I want to do like coil knots like in between. All right, let's do it. So what I did here is I just turned this around, clipped one of these in just like that. And then with my clip, I just came in here and just made a coil knot. So 1, 2, let's do a 3. So I did a coil knot there, came through here, and pulled it through. Isn't that cool? So, okay, a tip that I have. Okay, so you're just like, well, you might be thinking, because I know some of you are just like, think fast. You're like, well, if you make a coil knot, then this cord, one of your P's or your 4s, whatever cord is making the coil knot, it's going to get really short. So the trick is, for each coil knot you make, just alternate these. So I'm going to put a little knot on this one so I know do not use this one for the next one. Well, hang on, let me slide a bead on. And there's a couple of things that you can do. Let me put that aside. So one thing you could do is like maybe take let me see if I have a Sharpie here. Just anything, just to like mark it, just to let you know. Let me just, that work? Yes. Okay, so I'm going to get a little paw. Where are my paws? So I'm going to put a paw on there. And the, I know that if you're going to do the one with the macrame, then you need like a few inches less of leather. But maybe like maybe 2 inches per knot. See that? So I'm going to come in here, and this one, the one with the red, I know, do not use that one. Okay, so I'm going to use the other one. So that's the trick to keeping them even. So there's this, nope, this one. Oh, and one thing, whichever one you're doing the knot with, you want it to be on top. Really important, because I don't know, the other day I made one of these and it just, I don't know what happened. It was just kind of weird. So there's 1, 2, and 3. You just stop and hold, just like that. And then when you pull this out, you have a little tunnel. Oh, I hope I said hi to everybody. I know we got Rhonda in Colorado. Oh, yeah, weren't Rhonda's like knots like the best? Okay. This one you gotta like twist it and like pull. Twist, twist, pull. So, isn't that, oh my God, look at that. Isn't that just so cool? And then you can just keep doing your knots, but I'm going to put another paw just so you guys can get the idea where I keep losing my little paws here. So let's get that on there. Family loves space for bead and yeah, antique silver. Uh-oh, did I do something wrong? Nope, there we go. Okay. So now I'm going to do the knot with that red one. Okay, so I'm going to leave it on top. Or, yeah, I'm going to do that. Just clip it right as close to the tip. You know, just as far up the clip as possible. You get this, hold it. And then start 1, 2. We got that 3 in there, and then take this out. And that's it. It's kind of like the pearl project that I did with all those pearls. The one like Rhonda made. But you're just changing it up. Oh, that'll even look cool. Let's say you did guys, you know me. I can go on and on and on and come up with like so many different variations. Let's see. So you can have, I mean, right here, you could start doing a ladder stitch. You know where I'm going with that. Okay, so let's do one more paw, and then we'll finish the end. So I know, right, Kim? There's so many like, okay, so now we gotta do this one. You know what? I think I'm gonna stop because, since I kind of was mostly showing you how you can transition from one to the other, I don't want to run out of cord because I know that I something weird happened and I did. Okay, so let's see what happened here. Okay, so that's how, let me do 1 or 2 more of these. Let's just clip this in here and I'll do it like a P. And then a 4, just, I don't know. Okay. And then I'm going to come in and let's say you get to the length you want. And so now you get your long one and put it on top. And then we're going to make a coil knot just so it has that same like look on the end as it did here. So I'm going to go for that 4 wrap. Okay, so let's put this on the bottom and let's do it. Michelle, thank you for joining. Mary, Robin, now I see all of you guys. Patty, I see this. I know, right? I was watching one of the JTV extra shows the other day. Oh, and I was so bummed out. It was I think it was Rita. And she was showing some really cool like stamping, and I'm like, no, don't go, because I was just getting into it, and she's like, oh, the show's gonna end, and I was like so bummed out. You just like kind of wiggle it, and there you have it. And then let's see, how did I do the end? Oh, this part. Okay, I hope I don't run out of. You know what, guys? I think I might run out. I shouldn't have done that extra knot. So you just want to like measure just enough to get the button through. Let's see if I can do it. Because at this point, it becomes like a leverage issue. Oh, this is going to be cutting it close. Let's see if she can do it. Oh my God, I'm nervous. Okay. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, oh my God, I could do it. I could do a 3. Perfect. So I'm going to come in here. And usually it's not because you don't have enough cord, it's a leverage issue, you know, because it like getting it through and then, you know, getting it tightened. And don't take it off the clip yet, because yet right now you want to keep this distance is like from getting any smaller. So I'm going to come in here with these guys because, you know, I don't have that leverage that I need, and I need to tighten this. Okay. So there. So this is perfect for this button. Yep. Check it out. Perfect. Okay, and you guys know, those of you that have been following, yes, the Eslon would be, yes, absolutely. Or the what did I do on this one? I used the wax jewelry cord in the 0.5 because it just had like I don't know, just looked like a tighter weave. But so my new thing, those of you that have been following the past shows, you know that I've been putting like a security knot, a macrame binding knot right there. Just because if you don't put that on there, see what happens. See this, how one of these slides, and you don't want that to happen. Oh, well, maybe you do. I just thought of something. That's really cool, actually. Okay. Ta-ta. Maybe you could. Let's say you want the buttonhole to like open and close without the thing going all the way. You know what I'm going to do, right, guys? You know what I'm going to do. So what you can do is you can put like a binding knot here, which is going to actually act like a stop knot. Okay. And you could put one here. Okay. Do you know, because if I put a stop knot there, let's see. See what's going to happen? It's when you pull this side, it's going to stop it. You know what? I'll save that for another show, because that is a cool idea. Because let's say you have a button, and you know I've talked about it where you have a gigantic button, but then you need a gigantic loop. But if you make the loop to where it can be closed, then you can have the best of both worlds. You can have your big button and a sliding knot closure. But you know what? I'm just going to do the macrame binding knot right here. So let's just do that. So I'm just going to clip this in here and clip that. And when I do the binding knots, I like to use like a thin, of waxed cord. And it's important that it's waxed because that wax just really helps it stick. Okay, so let me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this cord. Let me see if I have the 0.5. Huh. Well, good news. I'm going to tell you, this is a 0.9, but the 0.9, you could split it. So, and I do have this tutorial on my website. You just twist it like this, and then you can just put your finger in there and just pull it like along the string like this, and it'll just it'll come apart. Just hold it and pull. You don't want to pull it this way because it just, it doesn't work. Let me get this untangled. Hang on. Whoop. So you just want to like, and if you get this knot like that, don't get scared. Just kind of like wiggle it out. But the trick is just to like have them like slide along like each other, just like that. And then it'll just come apart. And then just to get rid of the kinks, super easy. Just wrap this around your fingers and just pull on it really hard and see the kinks just completely go away. So that's how you split a 0.5. And now you can use it for your macrame binding knot, which I'm going to put right in here. And I know some of you get so creative with your knots. I know that Christy in Alaska, and Laura Lee does, and it's just amazing. So this is, it's basic, it's just regular old macrame, except since you're changing out the materials and the cord, it's gonna stick. So let's see, let's do the bottom. Oh, right, Robin? Pat she's like the national treasure. Okay, so let's hold this one. Sharon, oh, thanks for joining the show, guys. I really appreciate it. And I always have so much fun here. I just wished, I wish that we could stick around longer, you know, but sadly. Okay, let's tap that down, and then we're going to do this side here. And, you know, at this point, you could just like be done with it. But but I always like taking things a step further. But I know at this point on this one, I don't have enough leather to put like a knot. But so on this one, I just put the binding knot and then cut. And on this other one, where did it go? Oh yeah, I had an extra cord left over. So I put like a large hole bead on each of these sides, and then I like just knotted it, and then boom, and that one's done. And this one here, unfortunately, I don't have any numbers for this because what happened was, you know, I pulled like some leather where I thought, oh, this should be enough, because I wanted it to be where I had like the like leather right here, and then just a plain, just nothing with leather on the top. That's the look I was going for, but I didn't have enough leather. But the good thing is it made the perfect length for an ankle bracelet. And this, I kid you not, I mean, holding it in my hands doesn't do it justice, because when it's on, it looks so nice. It just looks really like amazing. Yes, Prince, like stackers. Okay, the bracelets. Okay, this bracelet, this is really cool. This is a bracelet that I made a while ago. And this, oh God, this was like, I don't even know what I did. Oh yeah, this one was, okay, I don't even know if I could explain this, but on the ends, I took the cord. How do I explain this? I don't even remember what I did, but I had to twist the cord, like twist it, and then I had to fold it so it could retwist on itself. And it took a long time. I think that's how come I didn't pursue it further, because it just took for, oh, look, I think I can explain it here. Let me see. I think I got this. Okay. Let me get my hair. Okay. Okay, so see how I'm twisting my hair? So I was twisting the cord. And when you twist it long enough, see that? It does that. So you just got to keep twisting and twisting and twisting. And then you just go like this, and then it just does that. That's the best explanation I have. So when it's right here, you put a jump ring in here, and then you go like this, and then it just twists back on itself. But does that make sense? Yeah, yes, exactly. But the thing is, getting the right, you have to do two sides. So getting the tension correct on both sides, I didn't do a very good job. But I still like the way it looks, though. It looks really pretty. So I just like, you know what? I will just keep it, and, you know, just keep practicing. And maybe one of these days I'll have a tutorial on how to do that. Because, I mean, I've done it. And, you know, I like when the twisting is really tight, because it makes such a huge difference. Because when you put a sliding knot and then it starts to like, I don't know how to explain it. But this one's interesting. let me zoom in and see if I can okay, can you guys even see that? This is, I used two different cords. Oh, this one is going to have to be a tutorial for another day, because this one, there's a technique right in here that Laura Lee and I kind of sort of worked out because she made her zipper necklace, and when she did the multi-strand, it kind of sort of like flipped funny. And there are times when like the multi-strand, it can be done, but you need a little tiny, a little tweak to it so that it lies really, really flat like this, so it doesn't like twist at all. And that's what I did on this bracelet because, you know, this focal was so dainty, so lightweight that, yeah, okay, okay, Sarah, a tutorial on this one. Is that the one you're talking about, Sarah? You'll really like it. It was like pretty cool. And I hope you know, I think did it fix the problem, Laura Lee? I don't know if Laura Lee's still with us, but I hope. Okay, let's see. Pat says there's a term for it in science, something similar to that, but I don't recall. DNA. Yes, DNA. Make tutorial a lighter color. Oh my goodness, guys, your comments are coming in so fast. Let me keep up with them. Let's see. Okay. Oh my God. Let's see. Okay. Kim says you make a tutorial, a lighter color or multicolor might show the strands. Yes, I know. You know what? That's a good idea. I'll do that because okay. The deal with this one was, oh, this is macrame. In case you're wondering, I thought like, how tiny can I make something? And this is, I can't zoom in any closer, but this is actually macrame. And I wanted to use the waxed cord, but what happened here was the wax cord was too thick for the beads. So I had to use my leadered needle. And I put like a really thin polyester, like an upholstery cord in the middle using the leadered needle. And then I came in and then did a macrame using the wax cord. So that's how come when you come in here, you could act, and then I went into the braid. It actually looks like it's got a couple of colors going on. Oh, thank you. Yeah, this is my new favorite nail polish, guys, because it just matches like everything. So thank you, Michael. 4 minutes. Okay, so do we have any questions? I can't believe 4 minutes. Let's see, what else can I talk about here? Let's. Oh yeah, we'll talk about these figure 8 clasps because I want to know if any of you've ever used these, because I was fascinated by these guys, these clasps here. Hang on, I'm getting a drink of water. Have any of you ever used these? I'm because I am curious, like what they're used for. See that? They might be tricky to. I don't know. That's why I want to know. Is it for Oh, you know what this would be really good for? I think if you have look. Okay, let me take off one of my necklaces here. Let's see. Okay, let's see what. Okay, let's say you have a necklace like this. Maybe you need to add more extender chain because, you know, next year, I know it's going to be a year, but it's going to be National, like, Wear All Your Jewelry Day. And let's say you need this to be, like, perfectly, you just need a little more extender. Maybe that's a good idea. You could, like, add, like, let's put this on here. There's that side. Okay, and then let's maybe you put your, I don't know. I'm just like, let's get this in there. Voila. That makes a nice transition. I'm sorry that you guys missed it, but look at that. You could actually make this longer. Just add an extender chain. That's a good idea because, you know, sometimes you just don't feel like, you know, getting your pliers and like having to deal with, like, you know, this is just like an easy, put it on and get it off. See, so we have to wait a year now for the National, like, Wear All Your Jewelry Day, but I'm going to be there. And I hope you guys will too. Anyway, guys, I've got like 5 seconds left. I hope we learned something. And thank you so much for joining today's TV Extra Show. And I will see you next Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Bye, guys.